Well, a fine good afternoon, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I'm in Colchester, Vermont today, and this building in front of us is the topic. Believe it or not, it is not on the National Register of Historic Places, but still interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. And I am stunned that I did not know about this place until just a couple of days ago, especially since it's so close to where I live. I live in Chittenden County. All right. Any idea what this started life as? That's all right. I'll tell you about it. And then we'll do a walk around. It is closed for the season, just so you know. The Colchester Historical Society is celebrating this month, meaning August 2022. August marks 15 years since the old Log Schoolhouse in Colchester opened to the public as a museum and visitor center. The sights and sounds of history are alive and well in Colchester's Airport Park. That's where the Log Schoolhouse has been resting for the past 15 years. At one point, it held 44 students. Students being all the way from kindergarten to 4th year in high school, said Tom Mulcahy of the Colchester Historical Society. Now settled in and fully restored, the 24 by 28 foot building acts as a museum and visitor center for people biking the causeway. Side note, the causeway was the Rutland Railroad tracks to the islands. So there are no more train tracks over there. The building is made of 7-inch square logs and was one of 14 schoolhouses spread throughout the town, each no more than 2 miles apart. The 1815 schoolhouse has undergone quite an adventure, closing in 1927 and later being found inside a home here in Colchester. When they took the house apart, they found this inside and asked the Historical Society if they would like to restore it, unquote, Mulcahy said. It took a 4-mile trek down the road to Airport Park from its storage spot behind the police station in 2007, and they tried to keep it as close to the original as possible. Mulcahy went on to say, quote, "The wainscoting that you see, the plaster that's on the walls and the floorboards, are the floorboards that were here when that happened. The paint color, that, unquote. Quote, this is, let's see, the paint color, that blows me away. How did they ever research the right paint color? That's wild," said Emily Gennari, a volunteer at the visitor center, unquote. Nowadays, there are no students except for field trips. Gennari went on to say the kids come in, they don't understand about inkwells, but they love the bonnets, unquote. During the open season, which runs from Memorial Day through Labor Day, the visitor center is staffed with volunteers like the 84-year-old Gennari. She's been here since the beginning and says she has a lot of fun here, pointing out the little funny things you don't see anymore. And when it is open, it's open Friday through Monday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and admission is free. All right, so let's go up to the storyboard. Understand that these storyboards are historic markers. I differentiate between a state historic marker and these because these have a lot more information and often pictures and maps and stuff like that. Oh, don't we love that? Yes, yes we do, folks, we do. Alrighty, so I'll let you look at the front of the building as I read this to you. In 1810, Vermont state law required towns to raise a minimum of 1 cent on the dollar in property taxes for supported town schools. The one-room schoolhouse before you was built between 1815 and 1827 to serve students in the area once known as South Beach or District Number 4. Attendance varied based on the season and, for example, would drop during planting or harvesting time as children were needed to help on the family farm. In 1833, there were 41 pupils between the ages of 4 and 18 enrolled in this school. Older children often assisted the younger ones with their lessons so the teacher could work with other students. The subjects taught were arithmetic, spelling, reading, penmanship, geography, and English. Over time, the state of Vermont took a more active role in both regulating and promoting education. In 1845, state law mandated that teachers be certified. In 1864, children between the ages of 8 and 14 were required to attend school for at least 3 months, and local school taxes were removed, creating a free public school system. A textbook law was established in 1894, and 10 years later, the state set standards for ventilation, sanitation, and lighting. In 1911, water coolers were purchased for schools to replace the common water bucket and dipper. This schoolhouse was closed in 1928 in favor of the quote-unquote new mallets-based school, as the existing building could no longer meet state standards. All right, so let me show you some pictures here. So it says teacher Elsie Gray stands next to the flagpole at school number 4, circa 1927. Flagpole, by the way, is right here. No flag raised on it, though. Flying in today's wind. Nope. It's because it's closed. I imagine that's why. And then down below, we have that. Wow. I mean, and that one says, in 2000, John R. and Angela McDonald deeded the school to the Colchester Historical Society. Through the efforts of the society, the school was moved more than 4 miles here to Airport Park. Holy cow. And then this picture to the right, children in costume for an Alice in Wonderland production at the new mallets-based school circa the 1930s. I'll have these photos on both Instagram and Facebook under Traveling for History. All right, so, and something I'll point out too. So yes, this is a log schoolhouse, squared off logs, but where are the logs? Well, they're underneath. So this reminds me a lot of the 1814 schoolhouse in Grand Isle. Remember that building? So it had squared off logs as well. And then there were boards that were placed over the logs and then clapboard nailed to the boards on top of that. Now, that school was also yellow. In fact, the color was ochre. They found that in the research and they painted it that color. So, schools kept very, very detailed records. So, I'm not too surprised that they were able to find out the color of this building. Now that above it, this above it here, move a little closer to it. I don't know if that ever opened or not, but it makes sense that it would have. I'm guessing that was maybe a transom window in its time, an early form of air conditioning, if you will. Hot air rises, and the hot air would be drawn out, and if the school door were open, it would draw cooler air in, and it would continue that process of cooling until one or the other was closed. All right, so let's continue. If you hear screaming, like that child there, there's a playground right behind this place. So I have no control over that, and I'm guessing the parents don't either. We can see that it does need some TLC out here. Some nails are popping out. If I had a hammer, I would hammer them in myself, but I don't. Not with me, anyway. Ooh, that's not looking good. And winter will not be kind. And these are actually clapboards. This is not vinyl siding. I mean, we can tell. You can see the brush strokes here. And you can see cracking here because the clapboard is breaking. Let's see if we can see anything inside the windows. I don't see any blinds. Ooh, I'm sorry, my camera doesn't like the cold. It's gone a little blurry. There we go. It's back. And the foundation, these wonderful blocks down here, Oh, I may be wrong about that. Maybe blinds on the windows after all. I do know they have it set up as a classroom. I'll put a link to their website. It has some interesting pictures on it. I don't know. Is there anything up there? Can we see anything? No. All right. Well, I did try. Windows are up pretty high for me. Oh yeah, blinds are drawn. Oh, that's so annoying. I understand though, they don't want people to perhaps break in. Thrilled that it's not vandalized. But it's a busy place, so people would see if people, it's in a neighborhood. All right, let's finish the walk around. There are lights on the building too. How fantastic is that? Then over here, there's a sign. That sign right there. Let's just walk up to it. You can almost read it without my zooming in on it. It says Colchester Log Schoolhouse, Information Center and Museum. You can hardly wait to come back when they're open. It says at the bottom there, Colchester Historical Society. So I can hardly wait to come back when they're open and perhaps film the interior for you. I think that'd be amazing. And to be sure that we have all of it in the picture, let me just back up a little bit. Very cool, isn't it? It is indeed. All right, I see another storyboard over there. I'm going to go check that out. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Appreciate all of it. I'm on all the social media you are. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm also on TikTok. So except for Twitter, it's Traveling for History. 1L and Traveling Everywhere. On Twitter, I'm Traveling for Hi1. Traveling for HI1. I also have a website, travelingforhistory.com. I think you know the spelling is 1L. And please check everything out. I would appreciate that. You know, like, follow, share. I'd appreciate it. All right. On that fancy dancing happy dabbing out. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope it was fabulous for you. And until I see you again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.